want to tell you about a very amazing app that I found a few nights ago called Snore Lab. I wanted to know how much I snore at night. Sometimes I wake up, my mouth is so dry. I don't wake up in the morning feeling unrested like I did in the past, which can often be a sign of having obstructive sleep apnea or snoring a lot. I did notice sometimes, well, quite often, my oxygen saturation is low in the night, 92 to 93%. In fact, a couple of times I've seen on my Apple Watch that it's dipped as low as 88%, which is not good. And it's Apple Watch O2 Sat is supposed to be fairly reliable. I don't know about that, but anyway. So I thought, well, let's just see how much I snore, how much I sleep. So I downloaded this app called Snore Lab, and it is just amazing. So here you have like your profile. Well, let's show you my results. Okay, so these are the last few nights. I turn it on as I get into bed, and then you have the option to listen to some music, some white noise. Like I for instance, have selected to listen to the campfire crackling for 20 minutes or 15 minutes before it shuts off and then starts recording me sleeping. You can have the rain. There's different things you can listen to. Anyway, this is my snore score. And they say up to 25 is considered normal. Anything between 25 and 50 means you definitely do snore. Anything between 50 to 100 means you kind of got a problem and you maybe should have a sleep study. Now, I'm going to end up doing a sleep study because I don't know for sure if the Apple Watch really accurately is able to measure your oxygen saturation at night. But I'm a little concerned about the fact that it does dip even down to 92. It's really better for it to be between 95 and 100, whether it's when you're sleeping or during the day. Now, obviously, I have mild COPD. I was told that many years ago. I used to smoke. Clearly, I snore. But I would like a sleep study done. Just to really know where I'm at. I would never use a CPAP machine unless it was like I had to for life, like to save my life or because I was very high risk. I might do one of those mouth guards or whatever, but I could never sleep with a hose on my face. Like I couldn't do it and I wouldn't do it. Like I toss and turn all night long. So that wouldn't be good for me. But anyway, so here are my snore score. Last night, well, the lowest it's been so far is 38. Anyway, what else does it show? So so for instance, okay, last night I fell asleep on the couch, so that's not a full night's sleep. But here we go. Here's Friday night. So you can see it takes several readings. You can set how often it will record you during the night. It will take 20 samples. It can do a full recording of you from start to finish, which of course uses much more data on your phone or much more memory. All kinds of ways to customize it. It shows you how much time you spend quietly sleeping, light snoring, loud snoring, epic snoring, or just like background noise. Sometimes I get up to pee and then I talk to myself and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear this, but here's some of my epic snoring. Let's see. It's probably not going to work because I'm recording this. Anyway, those dark blue, or the bright blue spots are when I snore. And so you can play back your recordings. And it's quite eye-opening, or ear-opening. It's kind of embarrassing, but anywho. What else? Trends. So you can see there's just all kinds of interesting data. If you use an Apple Watch, it pulls some information from there. For instance, here, let me see. It pulls information from your Apple Watch here, your blood oxygen level, which is your oxygen saturation, what your average is for that night, the range, your heart rate, the range, and what the average was, your different sleep phases, what percentage of each throughout your sleep period. It's very, very interesting. Trends, so you can go back over your sessions and see. I don't know. I'm still learning about it, but it's very interesting, especially if you're someone that doesn't think you snore. You actually might. And years ago when I was in my early 30s, I was engaged. I was like 130 pounds. I was tiny little thing. Well, tall and svelte. My fiance at the time laughed and told me I snored, and I absolutely didn't believe him. I stupidly kind of thought that only people that were kind of bigger snored, but I guess I've always snored. So anyway, don't assume if you're in good shape or whatever that you don't snore, because you just might. You just might. Let's see what else. There's all kinds of good information on remedies for snoring, the different ones. If you use any of the remedies, you can tag those in your nightly recording and then track whether those made a difference in your score from night to night. Just all kinds of really, really good information. Just so much good information. Obviously, this app isn't going to be able to determine if you have obstructive sleep apnea. There's a questionnaire here that will show you what your risk of having apnea is. But obviously you need a sleep study, whether it's an in-lab stay overnight at the sleep clinic type sleep study, or a lot of them will do like a home test where they send you home with like a little device that measures your heart rate, your oxygen saturation, and records your snoring. And then you return it after like one day or, sleeping overnight, and then they interpret the results that way, which is usually cheaper. I don't know. Here in Canada, for a sleep study, at least where I live, it can be up to $2,000 if it's one where you actually go into the clinic and spend the night. That's obviously the most comprehensive test. It doesn't just diagnose obstructive sleep apnea, it looks for other sleep disorders as well. If you have really good private insurance, that might cover part of it. If you have a health spending account, that might pay for part of it. But for a lot of people, you have to pay out of pocket. The home study, I think, can be up to, there's one place they charge $1,000, but I think most of them it's about $300 to $500. So that's more reasonable, I guess. Oh, there's just a wealth of information. Just a wealth of information. I've never seen such a good app. And I can't recall how much I'm paying per month for it, which of course I can cancel at any time. But it is just the best app I've ever downloaded. Here, your profile. So here you can, your playback options. So you can set whether you want to just take a certain amount of samples of your sleep each night. Like it will just pick every 30 minutes it will record you. You can decide how many samples you want through the night. You can have it set to record all of your snoring, or you can actually do a full, let me see, how come I can't change that? Oh, it is set for that. Okay, here's samples. So say I wanted it to collect 40 samples a night. And then here below it tells you how many megabytes of storage that would use if you were to do that. You do need to keep your smartphone, I use an iPhone, plugged in overnight, I guess, just to ensure that your battery doesn't go low and it will therefore not be able to record your full night. So yeah, so if you were to do the full, which I'm going to actually try tonight, because I'd like to really honestly know how quickly I fall asleep. I always felt like when I get into bed, I lay there and I lay there and I lay there. My brain's going. And it always feels like it takes me forever to fall asleep. But I kind of think that I fall asleep much faster than I'm aware of. So I'm going to do a full recording tonight. I don't have to keep all the, the recording. It says here, after reviewing your recordings, you can recover disk space by using the delete audio function on the Snore report. You can choose to save a smaller number of samples with the auto select feature or by marking samples with a star. So obviously I couldn't do that every night. I would have no more storage left on my phone. But I'd like to at least try it tonight. And hopefully it will tell me from the time I get into bed, by the time it starts recording, how long does it really take me to fall asleep? I'm really curious. So I'm going to leave it set for full. Let's see what else. Reminders. That's the time I go to sleep every night. Well, sometimes it's earlier. It's depend how much walking I've done in the day. There's just, there's just so many different ways to customize this. I just think I think it's costing me $12 or $13 a month. It's very, very reasonable. Okay. Apple Health. It's just really wonderful. I highly encourage you to get it. Try it. You just have to basically have your phone obviously turned on and beside you in bed. It says you can have it on your nightstand, but I put it like right next to my pillow. The sound quality is amazing. Obviously that I attribute that to the iPhone being so good, but the first night I used this, you could hear the ding of my dryer going off downstairs on my main floor, clear as a bell. Anyway, it's very, very, very excellent app, and I highly, highly recommend it. So I just thought I would share that. I don't know how to get to the home part of it. Like I said, I'm still still using it, or still learning how to use all the features of it, but it's called Snore Lab. So yeah, just thought I would share. You or your spouse or your significant other or somebody in your family, you might want to try this, and just you might be really surprised how much you snore, how much of your sleep you spend snoring, and that. Okay, well, I just thought I'd share. Well, toodaloo.